Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to pull out the key insights from your sources, basically giving you a shortcut to being really well informed. Today, we're jumping into something truly magical. The Harry Potter saga, a concise compendium. Now, you probably think you know the story of Harry Potter, but beyond just the thrill of the narrative, our mission today is to explore how this series manages that shift from a charming kid's fantasy to something deeper, a really profound, often dark look at war, morality, resilience. We'll look at how it sort of matures alongside its audience. It mirrors growing up, in a way.
Yeah.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, it's a huge series to tackle, obviously. But like you said, our goal isn't just to recap everything. We want to pull up those really important nuggets of knowledge for you, give you a clear, concise understanding, not just what happens, but really why this whole saga resonates so deeply with so many people. It's become, well, more than just a story, hasn't it? A cultural touchstone.
Absolutely. And that journey for Harry and, for the reader too, it really kicks off with this huge personal discovery moment. I mean, imagine finding out on your 11th birthday your whole reality is, well, wrong, and you're actually a wizard. Destined for magic school, that's the electric start we get in Book 1, Philosopher's Stone or Sorcerer's Stone in North America. Harry gets thrown into Hogwarts, finds wonder, makes friends fast, Hermione, Ron, and enemies too, like Draco Malfoy. But what's really interesting is how quickly this whimsical world shows its dangerous side. Harry's facing off against Voldemort almost immediately over the stone. The story doesn't waste any time setting up the charm and the peril, does it?
No, not at all. It's incredibly swift, actually. And that's, I think, key to why it grabs you. These early books, they cleverly lay down the foundations, a rich, complex world, but right away the stakes are there, personal and kind of existential. Then, by Book 2, Chamber of Secrets, the danger shifts. It's not just external anymore, it's more insidious. Inside Hogwarts itself, you have these strange attacks, students getting petrified. Harry finds the chamber, fights a giant snake, a basilisk. But maybe more importantly, he learns about Voldemort's past through Tom Riddle's diary. So it's not just a monster fight. It's the first real link Harry makes to Voldemort's history, the darker side of the wizarding world. It really challenges that idea of Hogwarts being totally safe.
Right, so it moves from outside threats to something rotten inside, kind of shaping how Harry sees his new home. What happens next in that rapid development?
Exactly. And then Book 3, Prisoner of Azkaban, this is where the personal stakes for Harry really ramp up. And the story starts playing with your perceptions. Sirius Black, right, introduces this terrifying killer escaping the wizard prison, Azkaban.
Yeah, genuinely scary at first.
But then he turns out to be this, well, deeply sympathetic figure, almost a father figure for Harry, that challenges Harry's ideas about justice, loyalty, trust. It adds so much emotional depth, more than the first two books hinted at. Plus, you get the Dementors terrifying, and that clever use of time travel to save lives. It just shows the complexity, the moral gray areas Harry has to navigate. What this really does for the whole series. These early books quickly build Harry's personal connection to the big conflict, rooting his future fight in, personal stuff and immediate danger.
That's interesting, yeah. Book 3, pivoting more to the psychological, the emotional, kind of setting the stage for what's coming. Because just when you might be settling into the school year rhythm, the series takes this massive, darker turn. Book 4, Goblet of Fire. Hogwarts hosts the Triwizard Tournament. Super dangerous magical contest. Harry's forced into it even though he's too young. He's facing dragons, underwater stuff, a deadly maze. But the real pivot, the huge one, is that chilling ending. Voldemort's back. Full power. Undeniable. That feels like more than just a plot twist. It feels like the end of innocence for the whole series. How does that shift, that move from school story to war story, how does it hit Harry, personally?
That's a really good way to put it. Book 4 isn't just about the flashy tournament. It's a crucible, Harry's isolation really hits home, being forced to compete underage against wizards with way more experience. It shows his power growing, sure, but also his unique burden, the unfairness he often deals with.
That's it.
And that directly sets up Voldemort's return. It makes it feel like a deep personal violation for Harry. The shift hits his psyche hard because he's not just fighting school bullies or a ghost anymore. Now he's seeing the full horror of evil, the pain of loss, the awful consequences of what adults do or maybe don't do.
I agree. That's critical. But, I wonder if some readers find the Ministry's denial in Book 5 almost frustratingly slow, given everything Harry's seen. It feels deliberate narratively, but wow, it must have been maddening for the characters inside the story.
Oh, absolutely. And that frustration, that's exactly the point, I think. In Book 5, Order of the Phoenix, the Ministry of Magic actively denies Voldemort his back. Flat out denial. That creates this profound isolation, this disbelief for Harry and Dumbledore.
Right.
And this political denial, it isn't just filler, it's actually a brilliant way to explore themes like institutional corruption, how the media can be manipulated, the psychological weight of not being believed. It forces Harry and his friends to basically go rogue, form Dumbledore's army in secret, teach themselves defense.
Taking matters into their own hands.
Exactly. It's this grassroots defiance against a failing system. The book ends with those intense fights in the Department of Mysteries, and then the truly heartbreaking death of Sirius Black, Harry's godfather. So this whole period, the denial, the defiance, it forces characters to face harsh truths, make really tough choices, while dealing with disbelief and this immense personal loss. Which kind of makes you ask, how does all these escalating emotional and physical battles, how does it actually prepare Harry for the final fight, especially when he's sort of left on his own to figure it out?
That is the key question, isn't it? Because everything before really leads up to that ultimate quest. So now we're moving into the final confrontation. All the old mysteries start coming together. Book 6, Half-Blood Prince. Dumbledore takes Harry to memories, showing Voldemort's dark past, and crucially, the secret of Horcruxes, these objects holding pieces of Voldemort's, well, broken soul. And amidst all that darkness, you also get romance blooming between characters. Adds a human touch, right, against the rising stakes. But then, another huge loss. Dumbledore's tragic death, killed by Snape, leaves you reeling. This is where the pieces really slot into place, even with all the grief. It's not just about discovery now, is it? It feels like it's about prep and sacrifice.
Precisely, yeah. The Horcrux reveal gives a clear path, terrifying as it is, to beating Voldemort, but it demands huge sacrifice, huge understanding. In Book 6, Dumbledore's lessons, they're less about spells and more about moral philosophy, really, showing Harry how insidious evil is, the terrible price of fragmenting your soul.
And the romance, yeah, it might seem lighter, but it actually highlights the humanity, the connection that Voldemort just completely lacks, sets up a stark contrast for the end and Dumbledore's death at Snape's hand. Oh, that's a masterclass in complexity. Right away, you're questioning loyalty, deception, what sacrifice really means, makes you rethink everything you thought you knew about Snape and Dumbledore.
Okay, so Harry's basically on his own now, armed with this terrifying knowledge, caught in this web of complicated loyalties. What does that setup mean for his final mission in Book 7?
It means Harry's mission gets intensely personal, incredibly dangerous, and deeply symbolic. In Book 7, Deathly Hallows, Harry, Ron, and Hermione ditch Hogwarts. They leave that relative safety to actively hunt and destroy the Horcruxes. And it's not some neat, structured quest. It's desperate, often lonely, morally really challenging at times.
Yeah, you feel that struggle.
And during that journey, they also stumble upon the legend of the Deathly Hallows, these 3 mythical objects that supposedly make you master of death, which adds this fascinating philosophical angle, doesn't it? Counterpoint to the Horcruxes. One is seeking immortality through dark magic. The other is about accepting, maybe mastering, death itself.
Interesting distinction.
Yeah, and the whole saga just builds to that epic final battle back at Hogwarts. Everything they've fought for, everyone they've loved, it all comes down to this. Voldemort is finally beaten by Harry, not just through power, but through this profound understanding of love, of sacrifice. And then the series gives you that little peek into the future, the epilogue. 19 years later, characters with their kids, gives you that sense of closure, you know? Life goes on. What it really signifies for the whole arc is that this final part wraps up not just the plot, but the emotional themes too, showing incredible courage and how love endures against just overwhelming evil.
It really is an epic ending, tying everything up. But let's shift gears slightly. Beyond the magic, the adventure, the big battles, what are the core lessons, do you think? The things woven into the story that really connect with people everywhere? What stands out to you as those enduring themes?
Well, what's really compelling is how these themes manage to go beyond just the fantasy world. They offer universal lessons appealing across ages, across cultures. One of the absolute core ones has to be friendship and loyalty. You know, the bond between Harry, Ron, and Hermione. It isn't just plot convenience. It gets tested constantly. It strains under pressure. Think about Ron's jealousy in Book 4 or their fights during the Horcrux hunt.
Oh yeah, definitely not always smooth sailing.
Exactly. But ultimately it gets stronger because of the conflict. Their loyalty feels earned, real, resilient.
That's a great point. Tested, not just assumed. Okay, what about the big good versus evil struggle? Does it stay simple?
Not really, no. And that's another strength. The series complicates that traditional good versus evil idea brilliantly. Voldemort is pretty much pure evil, okay? But for other characters, the lines blur. You've got Snape's ultimate loyalty, Dumbledore's past mistakes, even Harry's own battles with anger, with vengeance.
Cool.
It's a deep dive into courage, the need for sacrifice, and how crucial individual choices are in defining where you stand. It's not just about your nature, it's what you choose. Which leads right into love and sacrifice. I mean, Harry's survival itself, right from the start, is because his mother's love protected him. Throughout the whole series, love is shown again and again as the most powerful magic, stronger than dark forces, something Voldemort just cannot understand.
A fundamental blindness for him.
Absolutely. And it's an active force, not just Lily Potter, but Snape's love for Lily, Dobby's sacrifice, even Narcissa Malfoy lying to Voldemort at a key moment. It's powerful.
So it's not just a feeling, it's like an active magical force. What about Harry himself? His journey?
Right. That brings us to identity and growth. Harry starts off as this insecure, kind of unassuming kid, but we follow his whole journey as he becomes this brave, decisive leader, his struggles with being connected to Voldemort, his burden as the chosen one, and then finally his choice to face death. It's a powerful story of finding yourself, becoming who you are meant to be. And lastly, maybe most importantly, the series hammers home choices over destiny. Yeah, there's prophecy, there's fate involved. But the main message is crystal clear. Our choices define us, not where we come from, not what someone tells us we're destined for.
That's what we do.
Exactly. Harry choosing to walk into that forest, knowing what likely awaits him, that's the ultimate example. All of this together, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Which of these themes do you think really locks in the series' lasting appeal for like a global audience?
Oh, tough question. For me, I think it's that mix of choices and love. The idea that even when things look hopeless, the decisions we make, rooted in love, can actually change destiny. And it is a global reach, no question. It's one thing for a story to be good, another for it to become this phenomena, shaping generations. The sheer scale of its impact is kind of mind-blowing.
The numbers alone are just staggering, yeah. But they really point to something deeper. It's resonance, translated into over 80 languages. Think about that reach, making the magic accessible everywhere. Over 500 million copies sold. It's the best-selling book series in history, period.
Incredible.
But the influence didn't stop there, did it? It sparked those huge blockbuster movies, tons of merchandise that became part of pop culture, those amazing theme parks bringing the world to life, and this huge, passionate, global fan community that's still going strong today.
Yeah, definitely still active.
So, stepping back, the impact is way beyond just sales or entertainment. It genuinely fostered imagination, courage, a belief in friendship for millions. It shaped a generation of readers, encouraging literacy, getting people engaged with stories. It just speaks volumes about the incredible, transformative power of a really well-told story.
What an amazing deep dive that was, journeying through the Harry Potter saga today. From Harry's humble start and first taste of magic, through the rising darkness, the final battle against Voldemort, to those deep, evolving themes, friendship, courage, love, choice, and yeah, it's undeniable global impact. It really is a story for the ages. It definitely reinforces the value of going back to these stories or maybe discovering them for the first time just to see how deeply they connect.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us on this exploration of, well, a truly monumental piece of modern literature.
It was my pleasure, given how much the series emphasizes that our choices define us and that love is this ultimate power. Maybe a final thought to leave you with is this. What active choices could you make today? Maybe inspired just a little by Harry's journey, to bring a bit more courage or connection or understanding into your own world.
That's a fantastic thought to end on. Keep seeking out those deep dives into the stories that inspire you, and we'll catch you next time.